Hi guys and welcome to another video. Saving money can be really hard. Don't get me wrong, I get a lot of questions from friends, family and on YouTube about people asking just how to save money. You'll see loads of videos, just like my last video which says save money and get to £1 million. However, the actual act of saving money can be a little bit more technical and a little bit more daunting. And one of the reasons is that people never hit this target is because they just never start. Most people don't actually save money. And it's not from want of trying, it's just they haven't found a system that's good for them. So in this video I'm going to share my top tips and tactics so that you can save money and save literally thousands of pounds per year. Before we get going with the video, I just want to do a shout out to Tom at TE Trading. Tom's channel is really good, go and check it out. It's all about investing and he shows a deep dive into his dividend portfolio, his high growth portfolio, and shows you what stocks you can invest into to get good dividend returns and also long-term growth. He's also recently got past the £50,000 mark, which is no mean achievement. And anyone who's been investing or saving money for a long time knows that first 50,000 is the most difficult. So go and check out Tom's channel. I'll link it in the description below. I get loads of questions asking me how I actually save money. And although this might seem really basic and really obvious, it really isn't. And you should never worry about what people think is basic or easy. This isn't your fault, it's the education system's fault. We go to school and we learn about loads of different stuff. We learn about photosynthesis, Pythagoras' theorem, but we never actually understand or learn about managing money. So who can blame us when we get to adulthood and we just spend loads and look at our bank account and realize we have no money left? Now in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can save thousands of pounds each and every year, and exactly the same way in which I do that. Now this isn't meant to be a brag, and I know that I work in the world of finance, so I probably earn a wage which is higher than average. However, anybody can save thousands of pounds each year. If you just save £200 a month, then you'll be hitting over £2,000 for the year. And there you go, that's thousands of pounds. This is meant to help you to get on that journey of saving money, investing money so you can be wealthy in the long term. If you can take anything from this video and you can set up saving money as simply as possible, then you can be on your way to long-term wealth. And this video isn't one of those videos telling you that you should be saving a huge percentage of your income. I'm not one of those people that will tell you
save 2,000% of your income, eat dust and drink air, and then you'll become a millionaire.
You're meant to have fun in life, and doing that just isn't going to cut it. So follow these simple tricks and actually you'll be saving more money than you could even believe. Before I tell you exactly how I save my money, I'm going to break one of the cardinal sins of personal finance. I don't have a budget. Dun, dun, dun. I could have probably... There goes my microphone. Even the microphone was shocked at that one. Okay. So firstly, I don't have a budget. Shock horror. How do I know how much money I'm going to spend and where that money's going? Firstly, let's address why I don't have a budget. Budgeting, I find, is incredibly boring. There's nothing worse than sitting in front of all your bank statements, forensically going through all of your money and saying, I spent money on this, this, and this, and next month I'm going to spend less. Honestly, I would do anything else than go through that each and every month. Personally as well, I just find it really difficult to predict exactly what I'm going to spend my money on in the future. It can be really difficult to say I'm only going to spend £50 on food. I'm only going to spend £20 on socialising. I'm only going to spend £100 on travel. 1 month, a friend from out of town could come in. I could be going on holiday. So it's really difficult for me to really understand how much I'm going to spend and where I'm going to spend it. What I actually do instead is I work out what the essentials are. First, I check off the things that I really need to spend money on. Those are things like rent, bills, groceries, and travel. I know I'm financial minimalist over here and I actually cycle to work, but sometimes I do get the tube. So I also have to factor those things in. The other thing that I need to know is how much money I'm getting in. What is my net pay after everything has come out? That includes tax, national insurance, and company pension. So now I have these two numbers. So all I do is I take the big number, take away my essentials, and whatever's left is how much that I know that I can spend on fun things and save. And once you know the difference between how much money you're bringing in and how much money you're paying out on the essential stuff, and you know how much you want to save, then I would always say halve what you think you want to save. Because if you've never saved before, then you might think that saving all that money is going to be achievable. However, it's a bit like someone on the 1st of January saying, hey look, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out 5 times a week. You're going to get really sore and you're not going to want to go back. It's much easier to start small, start with a few sessions a week, and then build it up. And saving money is exactly the same. Start with less than you think that you can afford, and then over time, you get into that habit and you'll save more money. That seems pretty simple and anyone can do it, and it's just ballpark. You don't even have to know it down to the penny. Just know an approximate value and there you go. So I'm going to give you the 2 tactics which I use to save money. I'm not the Pep Guardiola of the personal finance world, so these are going to be really simple. They're nothing going to be too complicated, so everyone can follow them. They are barriers and automation. First is barriers. This one sounds really simple. And what you need to do is think about what you do when you want to maybe lose weight or eat more healthily. You won't have a cupboard full of sweets sat calling your name at home. And that's exactly what you have to think about when you save money. You want to put barriers between yourself and your money. And the way that I do this is I set up different bank accounts for when I want to save money. I have one bank account, which is my main bank account, is where my wage gets paid into. However, I've opened other bank accounts so that I can transfer that money straight away into different bank accounts. So that when I look at that main bank account, I'm not thinking that I'm too rich and making it rain. Just like I did with my money gun over Christmas. This is just a little nudge to make sure that you're not thinking, oh hey look, I've got loads of money in my bank account. What do I want to spend it on? Buy some new trainers, buy some new clothes, or go on a really expensive holiday. It psychologically makes me think that I'm actually poorer than I am, because that money's separated elsewhere or going into an investment account. So one thing to note here is to set it up as simple as possible. What I ensure that I do is that the bank accounts I open don't have cards. So it might be quite strange to open a bank account without the use of debit cards. However, that is the main barrier. You don't want to think you've got an extra card in your wallet so that you can spend money on whatever you like. That means there is that separation between the money, that you transfer that certain percentage of your income each month into a completely separate bank account. And then that's where tactic number 2 comes in. Automate this. Back when I first started earning, I did the normal thing which everybody does. I got my wage in, I paid for all my essentials, I paid all my bills and went out for whatever I wanted to do. And then at the end of the month, when I was just about to get paid, I looked into my bank account and said, I'll transfer the rest of that into my savings account. And even with my best efforts, I wasn't saving money. And it's not my fault, and it's definitely not your fault if you're in exactly the same boat. It's natural to think like that. What it is actually is that fact that no one's actually taught us anything different. So what should we do instead? Well, I always think we should automate this, that when we get paid, a certain percentage of your money gets paid out as soon as you get paid. You can set up direct debits and then that money gets transferred into that separate account as I talked about earlier. That means that there's a barrier and that money's been automated straight away. I know you're probably saying to me, Anthony, well, that's really difficult because I use 100% of my money each and every month. Put it this way, if the government turned around to us tomorrow and said they were going to increase taxes by 20%, would you pay them? You'd probably riot in the streets first, carry your pitchforks down to Whitehall and threaten the Prime Minister, but ultimately you'd probably pay it, as would the rest of us. Now you would find that tax rise somehow. And just imagine, that tax rise, instead of it going to the government, it goes to you. And therefore you need to make sure that you automate it straight away. And then after that, you adjust your spending to what you want to spend money on. Therefore you won't feel too rich and you'll know in your head how much money you're spending each and every month. So those are my simple tips for you to save money. It sort of follows up on my last video where I said if you save a certain percentage each month at every age, then you'll become a millionaire by the time you hit 65. Obviously this is ensuring that you invest that money, but saving money is so much of a habit and is actually far more psychological than you think. Just because you earn a lot of money or you earn a little bit of money doesn't mean that you can save. You don't need to be rich to save money and you don't need to be rich to invest money. If you do it this way, you'll probably realize that you're spending money on needless things. Like, I spend money on needless things sometimes. Like over Christmas, I bought myself a money gun, which, although it looks pretty cool, is a complete waste of money. So stick to those simple principles. Know how much you need to spend, know how much money's coming in, know how much money you want to save, and make sure that you don't overdo it. Start small and then build up. You don't want to be saving too much money and then not have enough money to live or enjoy yourself after. And then set up barriers and automate that money. Make sure that it's going into a different bank account, or even better, going into another investment account. If you have found today's video useful, please make sure that you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already and you want to see more information from a finance professional talking about personal finance, investing and real estate, then hit that subscribe button. And if you are interested in starting to get into investing, then check out the links in the description below. The first one is Nutmeg, and it's a great place for beginners to start investing. If you use that link, you'll get 6 months free of management fees, which are so important. And if you are a bit more experienced and want to start buying individual stocks, then check out the link to Trading 212. If you use that link, you will get a free share too. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.